and water resources. The health and well-being of oceans is very critical to the existence of human beings. Therefore, if we tamper with the well-being and the health of oceans, we are tampering with over 3 billion people that depend on fish protein. So it is very, very important in that we are talking of conservation of ocean ecosystems, as well as preserving a very essential global resource, which is water.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable, very critical goal that we're looking at, goal number 14. How is the ministry faring in realizing this goal, and how is it applicable to our country, Zambia?
Thank you very much. Like we have stated that goal number 14, life below water, that's a very, very important goal for the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock. And indeed, this is where the livelihood of our people depends on, especially where Zambia is concerned. It provides the livelihood of our people, and also it provides income of our people. But to specifically respond to how we are doing is that, first of all, we are doing very well in life below water. Though, as usual, there's room of improvement that we can still do better of what we have done. So, as a ministry, this is one of the critical and crucial elements in terms of the fisheries and livestock. Here, we are faced with a number of challenges that are surrounding the sector. First of all, is to address the conservation of our water and aquatic resources. And at the same time, these are the challenges that are induced by human elements. So these are the areas that the ministry has to apply themselves, that we find solutions, practical solutions that are sustainable to preserve our water bodies. Our natural water bodies need to be preserved, because it's not just about today, but about even the future generation. So this is where it becomes critical, because this is where the livelihood of the people depend on. So to me, as a ministry, like I have stated, that we are faring very well, because there are a number of initiatives that we have put in place. There are a number of regulatory framework that we have put in place that will conserve our natural water bodies, that will give sustainable activities for our resources. So this is what the ministry is trying to put in place. As a ministry, we are also trying to address, to review the Fisheries Act number 22 of 2011, to make sure that it matches with the climate changes. It addresses the challenges that I have just mentioned, to make sure that the steps that we are moving forward will be able to sustain and manage our water resources.
All right, I'll get back to you, Honorable, just to find out what measures you put in place as a ministry, because you've mentioned a very critical component, issue to do with climate change, which is affecting all sectors of our economy. But let me move to the chairperson of a very critical committee here at National Assembly, and this is Honorable Kasauta Mijelo. You chair a very critical committee, but maybe the question that would want to find out, would you provide an overview of your committee's current initiatives that you've embarked, that will speak to goal number 14? What are some of the programs that you've lined up as a ministry that will speak to the realization of sustainable development goal number 14?
Good, thank you so much, President. As a Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources, and the topic we are discussing today, which is on the table, This is the program of work which we are going to undertake next year. The first thing when we come to Parliament, this is the issue we are going to look at. We are going to look at especially on fisheries, and also how people must also protect our water bodies which we have here in this country. You know, this topic of a life below water, it is very, very important, because, you know, most of the people, especially from the northern Zambia, they depend entirely on a fish business. And a fish business is something which is almost spreading the entire country. And we know that there is high shortage of fish. We don't have enough here in this country, and we depend on importation. And we want to make sure that almost each and everyone, including areas like Southern Province, Eastern Province, where they don't entirely depend on fishing, so that they can also join the team, the enterprise, so that we can manage at least to reach at a certain level where we can manage to sustain our country, our population. And this issue percent is it's very critical. It's critical, very, very important. The reason is that if we don't practice good measures, a good practice, if we don't employ good practice on how to fish, definitely we are going to deplete all our fish, and especially already in Lake Meru, you've seen already that we don't have enough fish because of the bad method of fishing. And we should make sure that we interact with the communities, we interact with be it small-scale farmers, with villagers, and including those people who want to venture into fish farming, so that they can understand and know the importance of fishing, and also how to preserve our fish, so that our future generation, they can find fish. Otherwise, if we happen to be extremely very careless, we'll definitely deplete our fish. And also, the water which we have, we should not take advantages of the water which we have at the moment. We know the water bodies which we have, the ocean, is covering about 70% of our planet. Yeah, 70% of our planet, it's water. So we must not feel like that water we have enough. We must make sure that we conserve it, and water is life.
All right.
And without water, we can definitely not survive as human beings.
Let's move to the Food Agriculture Organization. Mr. Chipangu, how is your organization contributing to achieving the targets of SDG 14, and particularly in the context of fisheries and aquaculture?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Like you had mentioned earlier on, SDG number 14 has 10 targets, and FAO is a custodian or co-custodian of 7 of those targets.
Okay.
So one of the things that FAO does is to develop methodologies and build capacity in member countries to be able to monitor the implementation of those targets.
Okay.
So that is one of the supports that FAO provides to its member countries, of which Zambia is a part of. And then FAO also responds to largely responds to requests and needs of member states around issues to do with conservation of water resources.
Okay.
FAO also are involved in developing certain international instruments which member countries are able to use. You may be aware that FAO usually produces what is known as SOFIA, which is the state of wild fisheries and aquaculture.
Okay.
This is a flagship publication that FAO produces on an annual basis. This is a global public good, so to say, because all countries tap into that document, get statistics and best production methods.
So what kind of support are you rendering to Zambia?
In terms of the support that we are rendering to the country, we have a number of initiatives that are looking at promoting sustainable fisheries and aquaculture production. We have one flagship project which we are implementing, the Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project, which is an AFDB-funded project. It's co-funded between AFDB and the government. Okay. FAO is providing technical support on that project to stimulate a viable and sustainable aquaculture value chain that is going to contribute to economic development, food security, and promotion of livelihood.
All right, Honorable, you talked about issue to do with climate change, and I did talk about it, saying that it has affected all sectors. But how is your ministry responding to climate change? Because I feel like your ministry is greatly affected, because more especially on the fisheries aspect. If there's no water, I don't think we'll have aqualife. How are you responding to the effects of climate change?
Indeed, you see, climate change is real, first of all, and it has negatively affected the sector in terms of the fisheries production. One of the elements, like I stated in my preamble, that you see most of these elements are human induced. So our starting point is to make sure that how do we bring awareness amongst our communities in relation to climate change risks. So we have started, first of all, by sensitizing our community to understand the negative impact of climate change and what is that we need to do to respond to this negative impact in relation to the fisheries resources. So first of all is to create and sensitize campaigns among our communities, to bring them to speed, to understand what are the real issues that we need to do. For instance, I can give you an example of, how people want to practice, crop production along the rivers, cutting of trees. All those elements have to be brought to speed to our people to understand that if we do bad practices which contribute to the climate change risks, then we are going to be affected as a sector in terms of fisheries resources. So this is capacity building that we are giving our people to understand and make sure that we start doing or practicing good methods of agriculture. That will help us to address the issues of climate change. And also, we are giving capacity building to understand how are we going to utilize the resources that we have. These resources, the fisheries resources that we have, it's not about government itself, but it's about all of us coming on board to understand so that we are able to fight these climate change challenges surrounding the sector. And you see, also we have made sure that our farmers in aquaculture do understand the best methods of conserving our resources. Okay. For example, I can give you a quick one which is very common. This is where we find that maybe our farmers or fishers start using illegal methods, like using mosquito nets, polluting our resources. Here, where you find others using chemicals to catch fish. So when you look at this impact, it looks to them from their understanding is a way of catching fish. But it has got a negative impact in terms of climate change. So we bring them to speed to understand that this is what we are doing, especially this time around. a lot of our farmers have now understood that climate change is real, and the sector is being affected in terms of not doing the right thing with our resources. Our water resources or aquatic resources is one of the resources that employs a number of people in our country. For example, Zambia. I know this is a global commitment, but if to come direct to Zambia, you find that it creates jobs for most of our people. About 1 million people depend on the aquatic resources. So now, how do we preserve that? So issues to do with climate change are very cardinal to make our communities understand. This is where we are encouraging even the participation of our communities. We don't want to run these things as government alone. Then it becomes a problem to address these issues, because these issues are being practiced by our communities. So this is where now we have brought in measures such as co-management. We bring everybody on board to make sure that we address these challenges surrounding the sector.
This is the SDG and You program, and later on we'll be able to read your text messages wherever you are. Feel free to send in your text messages. The number that we're using is 0978 2801. That's 0978 2801. Better still, you can also use our Facebook page, the National Assembly of Zambia. Let us know where you are watching us from. Today we are discussing a very critical goal, which is goal number 14, which is below water. One thing you should know, this goal aims to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, and life below water. My guest on today's program, I do have Honorable Makozo Chikote, MP, Minister of Fisheries and Livestock. We also have Mr. Kasauta Mijelo, MP for Wengwa constituency, and he is chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. We do have Mr. Francis Chipangu, Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Projects Facilitator from the Food and Agriculture Organization. So keep sending those text messages. I'll be able to read. Let me just acknowledge some of the people that are with us on our Facebook page platform. Wezi Elilong, you're watching from Chipangali District in Eastern Province. Thank you so much. We also have Gerard Banda from Mugudubu. We appreciate Gerard for you being part and parcel of this program. We also have Mukosa Siwakwi from Chirundu border town right here in Zambia. So keep sending those text messages and also the Facebook page. We also have something very interesting, and this piece was produced by the Food Agriculture Organization. Let's just hear and see how impactful the fish sector, the subsector is in our country. Just take a look at this.
The fisheries subsector in Zambia plays a significant role in the economy, as it offers an opportunity for improved nutrition, income generation and job creation, resulting in general wealth creation and food security at the national and household levels. At the national level, the fisheries subsector contributes approximately 3.2% to the national gross domestic product and benefits over 40,000 people directly and indirectly. The sector faces a number of challenges, such as high cost of feed, particularly for small-scale farmers.
So this is why FAO has a particular strategy which we call Blue Transformation, to ensure that aquatic foods, fish, contribute more to food security, nutrition and livelihoods around the world as an absolute necessity.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock and other partners launched the Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project, ZAEDEP, whose goal is to develop a domestic aquaculture subsector.
This is a value chain development project focusing on aquaculture, whose objective or goal is to increase incomes and improve the living standards of the value chain players along the aquaculture value chain.
ZAEDEP consists of 5 components, namely feed quality assurance capacity increased, Zambian finance institutions trained with respect to aquaculture and related risks, food safety program established, aquatic animal health management improved, national aquaculture statistics database established, and capacity increased.
Looking at ZAEDEP, its aim is to help farmers that are not commercial really to build up culture businesses.
As an agriculture extension officer, I believe we're going to enhance our extension works to our farmers, so that at least as we go on, as we teach our farmers how to construct the ponds, how to stock the ponds, when to stock the ponds, and pond management, it will be beneficial.
Well, there you have it. That's our simple production from the Food Agriculture Organization, just to highlight some of the impactful, or should I say, how impactful the fish sector is in our country. Maybe, Honorable, you'd want to comment on that piece that we had?
Indeed.
Looking at some of the challenges that you face, we heard talking about high pricing in terms of stock feed.
Indeed, this is a very educative and driving factor for the sector. First of all, I want you to understand that if there's any biggest challenge that we are addressing now is access to fish feed. 1. 2, the other serious factor, especially amongst our smallholder farmers, is access to quality fingerlings. So these two aspects, if we are to address them, the sector will not be the same. And currently, you find that a farmer who is in Shangombo, to access fish feed, the first thing that comes in the mind is Lusaka. So we have centralized most of our fish feed in our cities. So we, as a ministry, that one of the factors, if we are to grow this sector, is to make sure that we decentralize and make fish feed affordable amongst our smallholder farmers. Because remember, in this country, the highest percentage of farmers is our smallholder farmers. We have very few commercial farmers that are able to find these quality fingerlings and also fish feed. So this is one of the areas that we are paying more attention, and we are still encouraging our research institute to make sure that they start discovering by using our own local products to produce feed, and which will be affordable to our smallholder farmers. And indeed, I want to appreciate our cooperating partners, FAO. They have really played a major role in trying to drive the sector, because the technical support that they provide helps us to answer some of these challenges that we are talking about, and some of the challenges that have been addressed on this clip. So indeed, our desire, and as you are aware that the new donor administration, which is being led by His Excellency the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, puts first priorities on our national development agenda as agriculture. So when I'm saying agriculture, this encompasses both Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock and crop production, which is being held by agriculture itself. So these are some of the areas that we are passionate to address if we are to increase our production and become productive.
However, Michelo, I know you want to comment on the video clip that we played earlier on, and for the sake of people that are joining us on radio, I'm sure they were able to get the audio version of that particular clip that we played. But before you comment, maybe I would want you to share with our viewers and our listeners how you are coordinating with other committees within Parliament and government agencies and cooperating partners like the UN as a committee in realizing goal number 14.
Well, thank you so much, Percent. Percent as a Committee on Agricultural Lands and Natural Resources. We are coordinating very well, especially with FAO and so many organizations and different ministries, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Fisheries and Livestock, Minister of Lands, and Minister of Green Economy. And just to tell you one thing, I think, which we did, I think late last year, we undertook a tour with the Minister of Fisheries and Livestock, including the Minister himself. We went to Copperbelt, to the place called, it's near Kamfinsa there downstream, okay, where we went to see how people are managing, a fish farming. It was extremely very interesting.
Was that along Kafue River?
Yeah, no.
Mwekera?
Yeah, Mwekera, yes, Mwekera. It was very interesting. We went there, we went to the point whereby they produce fingerlings. That was extremely very interesting. And my committee went there and they were extremely very, very happy. And we even agreed with the Minister of Livestock, Honorable Chikoti, and the PS for Livestock, that I think that should not be the first thing on to do. I think we need to sample a number of fish farmers so that we keep on learning even as parliamentarians, so that we can manage, to spread the information, into various areas in this country. So I think it's something which really, impressed me. Fish farming, it is extremely very important because I think you've already heard, from the clip that it contributes to about 2% of total GDP for this country. So I think if we work extra hard, we can even jump to 10%. So we just have to encourage our farmers to work extra hard. And what we need to know is that, fish feed, that it's very expensive, and at times it's not affordable. And we should make sure that, just like the way the minister has already said, that we should make sure that we take the feed and feed. We should make sure that feed is available in all areas, and it must not just be available, but be affordable as well, so that our farmers can be making profit. Because if farmers stop making profit, they'll start shunning away from fish farming. So what we really need to do is, let's make a feed, a stock feed, be available and also be affordable. And we should make sure that we encourage exchange visits amongst farmers, so that they keep on learning as well. You cannot learn alone, but when you visit your fellow businessmen, your fellow farmers, who are practicing fish farming, you can learn a lot, even new methods of fishing, even new techniques on how to grow a fish, so that you can sell them in a shortest possible time. And so that you can even learn how to keep quality fish, because quality fish is also very important. And once we do that, you will see that as a country we are going to grow, and we should encourage a number of people, not just these who are already in existing, a fish farming or fish business. Let us encourage each and everyone. And fish farming doesn't require a huge land, too much huge land. Just 1 hectare, it's extremely very enough for you to do a fish farming. So let us encourage each and everyone, including the people in towns, whoever, be it civil servants, anyone, let us venture into these enterprises, so that we can manage to feed our country, and not just our country. We can also manage to feed the entire world. And it is possible once we come together, once we work extra hard. It is possible that we can even reach at a stage whereby we can start exporting fish in huge numbers.
All right, I'll be reading your text messages. Feel free to keep sending those text messages. The number that we're using is 0978772801, and our Facebook page, the National Assembly of Zambia. Mr. Chipongo, we may sound like this goal is all about fish, but I want us to also highlight some of the species that are affected by this goal 14, life below water, in our country, in Zambia, for the sake of our viewers and our listeners out there.
Yeah, so basically, like you have said, it's not just about fish. There is a variety of life underwater. There is biodiversity. There are things like crocodiles. There is plant life, which is underwater, which helps to fertilize nutrition for fish, and many more.
Yeah. So how are those affected in our country? And also I want you to highlight how is pollution affecting life below water? Because it's also critical. We see people innocently just throw a bottle, and that bottle will land in a river. At the end of the day, pollution will be affected.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that touches also on climate change, like the Honorable Minister had mentioned. Climate change is it's a double-edged sword. It is caused by the actions of humans, and it can only be corrected by the actions of humans. So there are many things that we do as humans that compromise the integrity of the quality of water. Like you have mentioned pollution, we use unauthorized chemicals to catch fish, things like mosquito nets. All those go into polluting the water resource and the environment. Yeah.
All right, let's see if we do have some of the text messages. The number that we are using is 0978-772801. Let's see who has sent what on our screen. So let's take a look. The first text message comes from Victor Chisela from Luansha. Honorable Chikote, people should be sensitized about climate change and all programs you are undertaking. I say so because not enough information has been disseminated to the general citizenry. Thank you so much, Victor. Oneli Zulu, good morning, presenter. I'm getting you loud and clear here at Chipata Central in Kalongwezi. Thank you so much, Oneli. Mulenga from Kasempa in Northwestern Province. I have land near the river, and all I need is a startup to do the fish pond. I want to venture into fish farming. How do I start? I need your assistance. Thank you so much, Mulenga, all the way from Kasempa. Emmanuel writes, watching you from Mungu. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. And this one unknown. We are together as usual. This is Josephi representing Namshakende Market in Mungu, Western Province. Thank you so much. Luke Slack Lionga. Good morning. I'm watching you from Katimamulilo border in Sesheke, Western Province. Thank you so much. Good to know that you are with us. So those are some of the text messages that we've received, but feel free to keep sending in. The number that we're using is 0978-772801. Better still, you can also go to our Facebook page, the National Assembly of Zambia. Like that page and let us know where you are watching us from, and you can also send in your question. Honorable, quick response there. Somebody has got land, somebody lives near a river and wants to start a pond.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to comment on the first text message about communication. The gentleman there, he has hit the nail on the head. Even as a ministry, as government, we have realized that there has been very, limited flow of information. So you see, like you people, you know that information is power. People are able to make decisions if they are given the right information at the right time. So indeed, if we are to move as a sector in responding to some of the issues that are in goal number 14, we need to communicate. We need to give people the right information so that together we are able to move in one direction for the best of our country. Because the goal number 14 is a very important goal. It requires all of us to understand and to know what is best for our country. So I agree with the gentleman who has sent that text, that we have to upscale our communication strategies to our communities. Okay. And indeed, this is one of the areas that we are also addressing, to make sure that how do the people understand the challenges that are surrounding the goal number 14. Because if today we were to do a survey, how many people have we communicated to in regard to this goal number 14? Okay. How do they participate? How do they also add value to achieve these goals.
Okay.
Because once we achieve these goals, then we are realizing the improvement and development towards this sector.
Startup capital, somebody has
The startup capital, like you heard from my colleague, a cooperating partner, I think this is why, this is the more reason why they are on board. Because of late, we're just concluding on ZAEDEP. ZAEDEP, through the CEEC, we have been providing soft loans to our farmers, those who want to venture in aquaculture. You know, aquaculture is an intervention that we have realized with our cooperating partners that it will be able to answer the challenge of fish deficit in this country. Hence the introduction of the intervention of aquaculture.
Okay.
Now, with the support from our cooperating partners, we have been providing this information. And this comes back to the first point I was saying, that information flow. Because you see, it's right to say, how do I start? Because that indicates to me that people from Chipata do not have this information which which is supposed to be useful to their passion.
Okay.
Because they are ready to invest, they are ready to come on board, but the information hasn't reached people down there. That's why now we are saying that decentralization is quite important, because people at the grassroots will be able to understand what is there, what is the government providing, what is on the table. I think, to me, this answers my first comment, but going forward, the project which is winding up, we are not stopping at the time when our cooperating partners are pulling out. This is a revolving fund that we have put in place. So the more we do the recoveries, the more we also start addressing our beneficiaries.
Let me find out from Mr. Mijelo, being a member of parliament for Bwengwa constituency and with enhanced CDF, is there any leeway that local people in your constituency can come and apply through CDF a certain amount approved by WDCs, where they can set up a pond somewhere and start agriculture? Responding to that question that came via our text line.
Good percent, very important question, percent. Under CDF percent, some of these projects like fish farming, anyone can apply for that fund. And you know, some of these important, right, enterprises like fish farming, I think it's something which can be given first priority. Once somebody applies for that money, definitely he or she can be given that money, so that he or she can venture into that business. So let me urge the person who has just requested that, how best can I, what can I start, okay, fish farming. I think the number one thing is that I think in every district we have a fisheries department. So it is important now, I'm urging the gentleman there, out there, or maybe it's a she or he, to go and visit, okay, the fisheries department, so that he can get some literature and learn more about how to go about fish farming. Because it's not just important somebody just to jump into the business, okay, without taking some, okay, technical know-how, okay, even without getting any trainings. So it is important, first of all, to learn, get literature, read a lot. It's very important, so that at the time you venture into that business, you can do very well. So I'm urging that person to also go and visit the office of a member of parliament, her member of parliament, so that they can discuss with the PA that this is what I'm planning to do next year. Okay. How can I go about it, so that he or she can apply? Then there was a very important question also, percent, which you had posed, okay, where you said that it's like this goal we have just concentrated much into a fish farming. No, it's not just about fish farming, and we are just talking about, okay, something which sits underwater. But we know that there are a lot of, okay, different, okay, species underwater. Okay, yeah, hippos, crocodiles, and there are so many. There are so many different of them. Yeah, frogs and a number of them. But we are discussing here now about also the oceans, that we need to have health oceans, health seas, health rivers, it's very important that we avoid polluting those waters, so that those, the life underwater, can survive properly. Then there is also, because a number of rivers, as we are speaking right now, they are being polluted, on a daily basis. So we must make sure that we avoid water pollution, so that even our future generation, when they come tomorrow, they can find health seas, health rivers, health oceans. That way it is very important. Even water acidification also. It is very important that we should avoid water acidification at all times. Look at Copper Belt right now. I think you've been hearing people complaining, year in, year out, that these people who are doing mining, they are not practicing health, mining, no disposal, disposal methods. They just throw chemicals anyhow. And those chemicals, they end up finding themselves into our waters, our rivers, which is not health for our community, nor for our population here in this country. And that water, like Kafue, if Kafue is polluted, that water in Kafue, it ends up in Indian Ocean. So you find the entire Indian Ocean also, it will start getting contaminated. So we should make sure that at every point we make sure that we become responsible citizens, so that we don't contaminate our waters, we don't pollute our waters, and we don't acidify our waters, so that we have healthy water. Because underwater, that's where we find the fish which we eat. The moment you pollute the water, then you are also polluting yourself. By what? Through eating all the fish which is being kept in those waters. So we should make sure that we are extremely very smart the way we conduct ourselves as human beings.
Mr. Chimpangu, Honorable, you want to come in here?
Just to add on what the Honorable has said in terms of how can someone come into or venture into aquaculture. So this is where now the ministry is also trying to upscale the extension services, that whenever, because the government has provided resources, like you have rightly picked up to say constituency development fund, are people able to apply that fund and venture into aquaculture. So this is also moving together with upscaling of extension services, because the responsibility of the extension officers is to provide capacity building to the farmers that are coming on board. So together, as a government, we are making sure that the money that is being released through constituency development fund, first of all, we are looking on how we can impart knowledge into our people. And at the same time, there are no restrictions, like the Honorable Member has said. We are actually promoting those grants to go towards agriculture. So what is remaining, or what we are trying to strengthening, is now extension services, so that we have got production and productivity amongst our smallholder farmers.
Mr. Chimpangu, would you maybe highlight some of the key priorities and future initiatives of the Food Agriculture Organization in the context of SDG 14? And maybe our viewers would want to know how they can get involved in these and to support just these efforts.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe before I answer that one, I can just comment on the question that you had talked about Please. Financing. The Honorable Minister has alluded to the fact that CEC is providing a finance. Even if the project is coming to an end, the component for CEC will still continue, because it is a revolving fund. But one thing that happened also on this project, it had an output on training financial institutions in sustainable aquaculture. So what we did was engaging the various financial institutions, banks, insurance companies, MFIs, so that they understand what aquaculture is, what is involved, because I think in the past it's been conceived or preconceived that aquaculture is a risky business. So what we did was to sort of demystify that notion that aquaculture is a risk business. We presented data and information to financial institutions, as well as extension officers and farmers together, so that they understand the potential that exists in aquaculture, as well as understand the risks therein, and know how to handle them. So I think banks, financial institutions are more welcoming, are more forthcoming now in terms of providing support to farmers when they approach them, because they understand the business better.
All right, let's get to our messages and see who has sent what. The number that we are using is 0978772801. Let's see some of the text messages that we've been sending. This one comes from Fibese in Kitwe. Good morning, nice program. Please give us more information. Definitely don't worry, Fibese. Information is flowing. This one comes from Anon. Thank you, Honorable Chikote, for unveiling us this information on fish farming. Can you organize fish farming experts at your ministry to come and give a talk to MPs and Parliament staff, so that we learn more about fish farming? Seems like this one is coming from within the precincts of Parliament. All right, let's move on and see. So, Honorable, that's an appeal there. It could be a member watching, a member of Parliament, lobbying that you can organize a talk.
Actually, possibly, it starts with us. So I think that call has come at the right time.
All right.
Our target as a ministry is to make sure that every board, when I say it starts with us, including you people here, including members of Parliament, they have to demonstrate.
When are we seeing that workshop, Honorable?
Well, it's the question.
Anyway, let's see some of the text messages that we have. This one, okay, I think we read. Okay, this one. Good morning, Honorable Minister and Honorable Kasauta. I kindly want to know when the ongoing recruitment process of livestock officers are going to be put on payroll. All right, I think. All right, Minister, I think just take note of that one. It's something that you can respond to off the program. This one reads, good morning. The only challenges we have is sensitization to our people on the group. Joe Mwanza from Mukushi Central Province. All right, thank you so much, Joe. Peter Kaongole. Good morning, panel. This is I'm watching from Mandola. Thank you so much, Peter, for registering your presence. We really appreciate your viewership and your listenership. All right, do we have some more? Given writing saying, good morning, I'm watching from Mpulungu. Thank you so much, Given, for letting us know. Joseph Luendo Mukalo, watching you from remote areas of Mumbwa district. We appreciate. I have 50 hectares near the river, and I want to use the land for fish farming. I need the assistance. I need your help in doing this. Please, Minister, get me started. I need a loan. Thank you so much. Those are some of the text messages that we've received so far. Keep sending those text messages, 0978772801. Would you want to comment quickly before we...
Indeed.
Yeah, just be brief.
The first one, the first one was when are you putting those people you are recruiting on the payroll? In fact, the person who have sent the text message, he has just answered. He says we are recruiting. So the process is still on. We are doing the process of selecting successful candidates that are going to be recruited in the ministry.
Okay.
I'm sure you have seen that as New Dawn administration, as soon as we recruit people, you have seen it in education, you have seen it in health. As soon as we recruit people, then those people are put on payroll. So immediately the process and procedures are done, are formalized. As we communicate to the successful candidate, those people will be put on payroll.
Seizing an opportunity, we're discussing life below water, but the payroll has come in. But anyway, it's good. It's very important.
Because that, I'm sure that arises from the point I was saying we need to enhance extension officers.
All right.
Because I'm sure we are now recruiting extension officers that will help us to sensitize the people. And I've seen the gentleman who have said he has got about 50 hectares of land near the river. Yeah, because first of all, he requires technical advice or support, because these are few things that we are discussing related to climate change affecting our natural water bodies and so forth. He or she must be guided by our experts. Is it the right place to do to venture into aquaculture? Is it what kind of methods that is going to be used to the land that is near the rivers? So those are so many issues that the gentleman needs to understand. And also, he has mentioned issues to do with the loans. Like I have stated that maybe we just need to upscale our programs. One, the program that we are giving loans to our smallholder farmers through CEC, that is an ongoing program. And also the one you just helped us person to tell CDF. So we are in the CDF component, there's a provision of getting loans.
All right, Mr. Chimpango.
Very flexible system that we have put in place. So the gentleman can still get to the constituents and ask the World Development Committee, apply, especially for 2024. I'm sure applications are being submitted. So for 2024 Constituency Development Fund, and for your own information, we have increased the CDF. So the component is going to cater a number of beneficiaries. So this is the time to prepare and apply to Constituency Development Fund. And you have heard also from our cooperating partners that there are discussions that have shown fruitful going forward with the financial institutions. If you have what it takes, you can also approach our financial institutions.
All right.
For the
As FAO, would you want to comment to any of the text messages that came, Mr. Chimpango? Everything is clear.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe let me move to the Honorable Minister. Maybe would you highlight some of the successful examples of international cooperation? By this I mean that is positively impacting SDG 14 in your ministry.
Yeah. First of all, we have won international reputation by participating in these international agreements. We have signed various agreements and protocols at international level, more especially the SADC Fisheries 2006. So these are one of the reputation that has made us to have good relationship with our cooperating partners. Because like I stated that this is a global commitment. It's not just about Zambia, because we are talking of water resources. So it's a global commitment. And I can tell you, because of our active, proactive participation on international agreements and protocols, that has gained us good relationship with cooperating partners. Also, they have looked at various initiatives that we have put in place in terms of policies and strategies that we have put in place, and also looking at how we are implementing those strategies and policies in relation to realize the Sustainable Development Goal 14. And this has also, gained us a good relationship with cooperating partners. So this is what we are doing as a country. We have prioritized such kind of strategies, policy framework, and even regulating. We were mentioning about these aspects being induced by humans. So we cannot let it like that. We have come up with policy framework to regulate these resources, to regulate our people, and that gives us, that gives confidence to our cooperating partners. That gives confidence to entire globe to see that Zambia is one of the countries that is participating in addressing and achieving the SDG 14.
We have less than 4 minutes to wind up the program, but let me move to Honorable Kasauto. How can members of Parliament contribute to the realization of Sustainable Development Goal number 14?
Oh, good. Thank you so much for saying. I think the way the members of Parliament can help to achieve SDG 14 is by receiving scientific knowledge right now, and also to have a number of researchers talking to members of Parliament so that they can spread the information to their various constituencies. And it's very also important that we keep on interacting with people like FAO, okay, organizations like FAO, okay, come here to educate farmers, to educate members of parliament, and also maybe invite them somewhere, okay, to quiet places. We know members of parliament are very busy people. So it is important that maybe they are requested, they are taken far away, okay, from the business center, so that we concentrate about these issues. These issues are very important.
Okay.
You know, percent, here the key word is responsibility. Responsibility is very important.
Okay.
You know, what we have noticed here, especially here in, not just here in this country, I think the entire SADC region, the whole Africa, or can I simply say the entire world, okay, there are very few people who are extremely very responsible. Responsibility is very important, that whatever we do, okay, as human beings, we need to pay extra attention, okay, on responsibility.
Okay.
We have to become responsible citizens at all time.
All right, Honorable, I request that you quickly wind up because we do have a live committee coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I just want to request is that I think one of these days it's important, like the Minister of Livestock, the Minister is here. It is important that, you know, in all these SDGs, there are very few people, including members of parliament. Some of them, they don't understand some of these things. So it is important that it starts with the honorable members of parliament. We engage some of the NGOs, some companies, including the ministries, so that we come together as members of parliament. We be educated, okay, starting from, okay, SDG 14 up to, is it SDG?
From 1 to 17.
Yes, yeah, from 1 to 17. Okay, we look at them critically, okay, 1 to 17, so that members of parliament can really understand about SDGs. Then we educate now the masses. Okay. That way we are going to manage to achieve all these 17 goals. Okay. By doing that, we are going to become responsible citizens.
All right.
Thank you so much.
As FOA, is this goal attainable? Goal number 14 as we wind up the program?
Yes, indeed, it is attainable. I think you have heard some of the challenges.
We only have less than 7 years to go. Are we going to achieve this goal by 2030?
Well, we may not achieve it, but we'll be close to achieving it.
Okay.
I think the efforts that have been put in place have gone a long way in mitigating some of the impacts that the communities have caused on.
Honorable, maybe under 2 minutes, how can an ordinary Zambian contribute to this goal number 14, and is this goal attainable?
First of all, for the ordinary Zambians to contribute to this goal is by bringing them to create awareness. They have to know, they have to understand. We bring them on board, then they will be able to participate, because what we are saying is collectively responsibility. It's not about the government alone. So if we bring the ordinary Zambians, if we are expecting ordinary Zambians to contribute, is to make sure that we also bring them on board. Let us create awareness amongst our ordinary Zambians. Let us create awareness amongst our communities. And my encouragement and my call is that this goal cannot be achieved by government alone. It must be a collective responsibility of all of us. Okay. Citizenship is quite important in this goal. Thank you very much.
All right, let's just acknowledge some names of people that have sent in text messages. Really appreciate your viewership and your listenership as well. Good morning, Honorable Makozo, and good morning, presenter. I want to start a business of buying chickens in villages. I want to find out from Honorable Chikote that it is a good business regarding to the outbreak of diseases which is in the country. Okay, watching you from Livingston. Thank you so much. Honorable, you received all sorts of questions because you are in charge of livestock as well, not only fisheries.
Chickens do not get affected by anthrax.
All right, the other one reads, in Milenge constituency, these projects are rare, but we have applied for CDF for the next quarter. Please help us. Thank you so much. Somebody from Milenge there. Good morning, Minister. Good program. Our knowledge in fish farming is expiring due to lack of resources. Watching from Lumezi, Eastern Province. Thank you so much. Good morning. What is the current status quo on the recruitment of teachers from... all right, thank you so much. Appreciate, yeah, very interesting text messages that we're watching. Honorable, I must say thank you so much for finding time just to be with us on this very platform. We appreciate and cherish your presence here.
Person where I'm really grateful, and this is my first time. I didn't know about this opportunity, and I want to thank the clerk of the National Assembly that please create more times that we are able to interact with our people.
Honorable, just leave your door open. We'll keep knocking. I know you are able to respond
open.
To our text messages.
Yes,
we appreciate.
My door is very open so that we can achieve it, because this is a sector that can change the livelihood of our citizens. So I would love to continue engaging with the communities. I want to engage with people of this country under this subsector. I believe that we can do wonders if all of us we can move on the same speed. So please continue creating such kind of opportunities.
Honorable Kasauto, we must say thank you so much. You always respond, even at short notice. Thank you so much for making yourself available on this platform.
Thank you very much. We are available all the time, please, because we are here to serve the Zambian people.
Mr. Francis, thank you so much from Food Agriculture Organization, just to make yourself available and just respond to these critical issues on this platform. Thank you so much, and pass our regards to the UN family.
Please, thank you so much.
All right, we're done for today. We were looking at a very interesting goal, and this is goal number 14, which focuses on life below water. My guest, we had Honorable Makozo Chikote, MP, Member of Parliament for Luampa, and he is Minister of Fisheries and Livestock. Mr. Kasauto Mijelo, MP for Bwengwa constituency and Chairperson Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. We also had a representative from the Food and Agriculture Organization, and this is Mr. Francis Chipungu, Zambia Aquaculture Enterprise Development Project. Our viewers, our listeners, saying thank you so much on behalf of the entire production crew. We'll be back tomorrow as we look at yet another interesting goal, and we expect the Minister of Lands to be with us. We'll be looking at life on land. God bless. My name is Paul Sentindovi. My sign language interpreter for today has been Chola Kauma.
new dawn. Zambia arise, it's a new day.
Mother, for all that you have been, and for all that you are, I thank you. And with all that I am, I love you. This one is for you.
Mayo, nimwe inyali andi pano panshi, nimwe tata. Mayo, wati Solomoni imfumu iakwatisha mano ubushiku nafuke mepanka sashove mayo no kutasha bafintu wanchitila no kulomba uwelelo papyo na kulufyanya fyonse mayo atile
inadequate protection for individuals against the high costs.
This song is dedicated to my late father, Nelson Yurongo. I miss you, my father. This is fresh for you. Naleti buku ya kwa siku ine nkakulaba usafishi na lusienye pakuti